What could be better than Portal 2? More Portal. And that's exactly what this mod delivers. It has everything a Portal fan could want. Clever, challenging test chambers, a great story, and some truly epic locations to admire between puzzles. And this aspect is done remarkably well. Some areas are so massive you feel like a tiny meteor drifting through space. Other places are simply beautiful. And some are perfect if you're into post-apocalyptic decay and other super positive stuff. On top of that, you get a stylish new red portal gun that fires red and blue portals, alongside the classic white one, which shoots the familiar blue and orange pair. This mod requires you to own Portal 2, but if you don't already, what are you even living for? Understandable. Have a nice day. It starts off just like Portal 2. We wake up in our luxury hotel room. We can check the mirror on the wall and realize that this time we're playing as a ginger chick instead of a usual dark-haired one. We then take a short stroll along a catwalk and reach the entrance to the testing area, where we're immediately told we might be retarded.
Test subjects may experience symptoms of mental defects after long-term chemically induced hibernation. You will now participate in a brain damage evaluation survey to determine just how damaged your brain is.
After disproving that by completing an insanely difficult task,
if you believe your brain is sufficiently operational, press the button in front of you and continue the test. Very good. Please walk through the portal and continue testing. Your self-reported status is more than sufficient for testing.
We move on to the first proper test chamber. After finishing a few basic tests, we finally get our precious portal gun. Just like in Portal 2, where we had Whitley, this time we're accompanied by a different core called Sterling. And yeah, he talks just as much.
Congratulations! You did it! I'm sorry for the surprise. Current testing protocol demands I dispose of all test subjects, so I had to intervene before you were, baked.
At some point, it becomes clear that the story takes place between the events of Portal 1 and Portal 2, acting as a bridge between the two. That's as much as I'll tell you. We don't want to spoil the sense of discovery, do we? But just to keep you going, in this mod, you'll get to meet the creator of GLaDOS. So if you ever get stuck on a tough test, keep that in mind as motivation. It's also worth mentioning that you should totally stick around for the credits. They aren't too long, and you get an endgame cutscene that tells you what happened to your character and her ally. The difficulty is kind of a controversial topic, but it needs to be said. For me, this mod was more difficult than the original Portal 2. Though the gap isn't as drastic as between Portal 1 and 2, and it's definitely not the hardest mod out there. It doesn't rely on those annoying tests where you have to fire portals mid-air while fighting your camera alignment. Well, okay, there is one test like that, but it's actually pretty simple, gives you enough time to aim and doesn't require insane precision. Otherwise, it's mostly think first, act second. Or, if you're more of a act first, figure it out later type, that works too. Just start messing around, interact with your surroundings and solve things as you go. There's also one test that kinda does you dirty. If you're the kind of test subject who likes to quietly observe and plan everything out before making a move, this one won't let you. It introduces an extra platform halfway through, once you reach the other side of a pit filled with deadly liquid. The bump test might seem tedious, since you'll be running back and forth a lot, but it's also fun because you get to blow stuff up. Some tests in the maintenance area might feel a bit convoluted, mainly because you don't get a clear view of the whole layout. But again, they're not that complicated. Once you solve them, you get that classic "how did I not think of it sooner" feeling. If you're old like me, this one might give you the NES Batman flashbacks. And then there's this test. There are two ways to solve it. Now I'm gonna show you the wrong one. Don't be like me, do it the right way, it's much easier. There are some new mechanics. We get a new type of emancipation grill, the red one. Not only does it disintegrate unauthorized aperture science equipment and block any portals passing through it, but it also straight up kills you. You'll only encounter it 2 times though. Lasers don't hurt you anymore. Why, you might ask? Don't know. Does it bother me? Not really. There are also tests where you get to use pneumatic diversity vents, which really freshen things up. On top of that, we get to play around with some new discouragement redirection cubes. You know how the standard ones redirect thermal discouragement beams? Well, the new ones work differently. One cube absorbs the laser and the other one emits it. That's for the red ones. The colorless ones behave as usual, redirecting the beam through their lens. There are also a few puzzles built around switching electricity on and off. And yes, the laser can still pass through glass. The visuals are great. Same graphics as Portal 2, but here it's all about the locations. We get to see even more of the Aperture Science Enrichment Center in decay. I mean, you really get the feeling that the place is falling apart. We also get to roam the surface, we get to enjoy the sunset, and it all looks amazing. We even get to see the turret shredder, not just as observers, but as part of a puzzle we need to solve to move forward. Some locations are massive, epically massive. I got really fascinated a few times, so I just kinda wandered there. It's nice to take a break from all the testing once in a while. And the old complex looks as good as it possibly can. Beyond the massive exterior, we also get to explore the offices, check out old posters and get a feel for how the test enrollment process might have looked back in the day. And there's also an exhibition hall, where we get that stylish red portal gun. And of course, with locations this big, there are plenty of crazy jumps. Oh, and the final boss. It takes place in a huge open space with multiple platforms. Unlike the original, it's not a fight against a robot, but a series of puzzles with a countdown timer. It's not exactly straightforward, and the time pressure really makes it feel like a proper boss fight. This mod is at least as good as Portal 2, and you might even end up liking it more, thanks to its greater puzzle variety and some truly picturesque locations. The story fits neatly into the official Portal timeline without feeling forced. There are no filler segments dragging things out. The architecture stays faithful to the originals, and the new mechanics are implemented so seamlessly, it feels like they've always been there. And the best part, this mod is completely free, for reasons unknown. With mods like this, even if Valve stops making games, we're in good hands. If you like Portal and haven't played this yet, do it. Do yourself a favor. The comments are open, share your favorite mods, drop your best Portal quotes, and remember...
Do not get covered in the repulsion gel. It does not like the human skeleton.